Hello, and welcome back to Leaky Gaming, and welcome back to first looks to addition to the game, Aluminium, Planes, and Tourism. Right, everybody wants us to start with the planes. Well, guess what? We're gonna start with tourism. Okay, we have a new everything. Well, a whole bunch of stuff is new. First of all, we have a new mineral. It's called bauxite. It's quite like simple raw material for our aluminium industry. So we're gonna go through that when we get to it. Now I'm gonna just showcase these buildings. I really don't know how they work at the moment. You need to have functioning cities, and as a tutorial I couldn't do it. It would take too long time. I just wanted to showcase everything that we have here, all the buildings, how they look, what their price is, and the star system that we have here. This is quite interesting, and let's start first presenting the buildings. Buildings can be found in the new section here. You can see the whole section is now redone. You have metallurgy, you have tourism, you have what else is additional here. I don't think anything new we can see here from the first screen, except those two things as far as I know, and edit buildings. Unfortunately, I don't have any buildings to edit, so we're gonna skip that part. And also you have a new infrastructure, and that would be airplanes. Okay, let's try to keep this short and sweet, so we're gonna go start with tourism. Tourism has 3 hotels and whole crapload of attractions. So let's start with the hotels. We have 2-star, 4-star, and 3.5-star hotels. Now, can we influence these stars? They look it looks like we can with the price modifier. If we modify the price, the number of stars would be much higher, so this is quite interesting. We're also gonna have to go into the details how much everything actually costs. This would be a really good thing. If we are earning on this, we can be earning from production of our own materials rather than selling it in stores. We can actually be earning here. This is slowly turning into capitalism, but if this is earning dollars, this would be really sweet, and I'm pretty sure that this will be earning as dollars. But anyway, let's go back to the second. This is the biggest hotel, and actually in the setup screen here, I believe it has the highest rating. It would be 4-star hotel. When you click on it, it's only 3-star, but we can always modify the price level, which is going to increase our stars to, well, 5-star hotel if it's free. And also we have so that would be the other way around. This one would be the smallest one, the smallest hotel we have here. So that would be with the angled roof. We have this in the alpine areas of let's say Slovenia. I would assume that this is common sight in Czech Republic, Slovakia as well, Poland, and rest of you Eastern Europe. Please say if it's so, because this looks something like a lot of snow would fall on it. Okay, I'm gonna pause now so we don't lose the daylight, but let's check all the... So hotels we have small hotel, 2 stars, big hotel, 4 stars, and the middle hotel 3 stars. It's 3.5 here, but like we said, with the price modification, we can modify the quality or expected rating. In the gameplay, we're gonna see if this changes or not. Okay, continuing on with the buildings. We have indoor pool, that's this one. Of course, everything needs to be heated. Of course, you can also adjust the price level. You have our gallery. Currently, it sets on the... well, less than 1-star rating. We'll see if that can be improved. We have a carousel here. We have also autodrome. Autodrome is this one over here. This is quite popular, obviously. And then we have carousel surprise. I have no idea what this is, and I'm surprised. Right, continuing on. We have something nice here. It's a beach bar. Beach bar, this is something that we're gonna cover with the beaches as well. We have, continuing on, National Uprising Museum. Now tell me, if you live in any Eastern European country, if you don't have this from any war whatsoever, that sucks. I think every single country has this kind of war museums. Continuing on, we have The View Cafe Bar. Alcohol served here. Perfect. I think we're gonna have some kind of outdoor connection to this, because usually I don't serve alcohol to our people, but well, obviously that's gonna change. Restaurant Panorama. So this is Restaurant Panorama. This is 5 stars. Obviously, this is something that is well known in the Soviet world. And the last thing would be Museum of the Republic. We have those as well. Okay, we have a sign tower, sight tower. Sorry, my bad. And we have sight tower number 1 and 2. Right, this one looks like they actually both look quite nice. I like that. Okay, carousel, Ferris wheel. We have a Republic Theater. You can see it here. Looks quite beautiful. And then we have Palace of Communism. Yes, if nobody knows what this is actual building. It exists. You can go and check it out. From the outside on YouTube, you can find it from the inside. It's a place in Bulgaria. This is all what I want to say. Okay, continuing on, we have a Pyramid Museum. Of course, this is world famous Soviet pyramids. And the zoo. Looks like it has only 4 animals. That's a giraffe. No, 5. Bear, polar bear, giraffe. Oh, zebras, monkeys, orangutans. That monkeys would be gorillas, I believe. And then we have on this side lions and tigers. Okay, that's nice. More living space would be nicer, but this looks really cool. Good. And of course, I think this is gonna be the hit of the tourism part. It's the beach. The beach, and probably you would be placing a couple of those beach bars around here somewhere. So let's see how this would look. I'm just gonna place it like here and see how that's gonna look. This is not too bad. This is not too bad. Unfortunately, this is just one slice of the beach. You can see the beach can be constructed. It needs to be constructed on the water as well as on the ground, and it doesn't go that far into it, and I don't know how many of them can be placed next to each other, and it looks like they do need to be separated a bit, but you know how we like it in communist countries. So all the rich tourists can have all the nice stuff, and locals, we need walls for locals. Okay, so that's it in the tourism part. Okay, let's continue on, because we don't want this to be hours long. This is just a first look. We're gonna make tutorials about this as soon as I can understand how it works. Continuing on, now this is an interesting part. We're gonna have aluminium or aluminum industry. Depends on which side of the pond are you looking this video from. I grew up learning American English, and aluminum was the thing that I was always saying, but unfortunately that changed, or fortunately that changed when I moved to Ireland. I'm using aluminium now, and this is the proper term. Well, it's still the Brits came up with the language, so let's listen to them what they have to say. Okay, this is a new set of buildings. All of them can be found in one place, but can be found in other places as well. So metallurgy is the place to go. You have this whole aluminium industry over here. These are the new buildings you can find. That's a bauxite mine. Bauxite is the raw material for making aluminium. Now, couple of things you have to bear in mind here. This thing is actually much smaller than the normal mine, but also it takes much smaller surrounding, and it has much lower amount of workers working there. If you compare it to, let's say, iron mine, you see how big iron mine is, or the same thing would be with coal mine. I will just go with and find the coal. Here we go. Coal mine would be around here. You see, it's the same big round thing that you have here, and for bauxite it's not the same. So if we go to metallurgy again and you have bauxite mine, it takes a really small amount of space. You're gonna have to have more of them in the same place if you have a rich vein. Now if you go to the map, you can see here that we have bauxite as a raw material. It's more or less sparsely, it's somewhere in between iron and coal, and then bauxite would be next in line. Well, iron core, coal and oil, and then bauxite. Definitely much more common in the Earth's crust than the uranium is. By the way, bauxite or aluminium is one of the... it's more common than... I forgot which one. It's quite common. It's not that rare earth mineral or something like that. It's quite common. It's just the problem of refining it, and you're gonna find out that in a second. So, a couple of mines you're gonna need to produce this. Now, these guys are, let's see here, 99%, that's perfect. When they're running on 99% or 100% efficiency, that's quite good. You can do the easy math here. You just go on the selection screen here, and you have maximum daily production per worker. That's a ½ ton of raw bauxite. So technically the maximum production of each mine would be 22.5 tons of bauxite with 100% productivity. Less productivity you go for, productivity can be, sorry, quality of the source, that would be this one here, 93%, 99, 92, 98, and 93, and of course 89, the last one. So this is the productivity of our mines. Of course, let's say 90% productivity would be, let's say, 40 tons a day with maximum productivity, because it's, sorry, it would be like a work of 10% less workers. 10% on 45 would be 40.05, but let's round it up for to 40, and you would have productivity around, well, we can just say 10% less productivity. That would be 20 tons. This mine would produce with maximum production. Why is this important? It's important because your processing facility can process more than mine can mine. This is different from iron and coal. Iron and coal, you can mine more and you're gonna have more processing facility. In this case, you're gonna have to have more mines and supply them with people. It's gonna be a little bit more complicated, but definitely more fun. So you have a bauxite here, 125 tons of bauxite can be processed per day. That means, if you listen to my math, these 6 mines would be more or less enough to supply one of these factories that process bauxite. Everything normal, perfect. I'm gonna show you one more thing we have. Actually, I forgot to put it here as a building, but we're gonna do it now. All of this is connected with normal conveyor belts. You have normal conveyor belt, you just do this, and voila, your mine is connected. Of course, do not forget the engines in between. We do need engines for this. Have engines, just have engines. And of course, engines are really good to connecting mine with the actual aluminium refinery or alumina plant. It's not actually alumina, it's alumina plant. Alumina plant is something that you're gonna need for creating aluminium. So we have bauxite or raw aluminium, raw bauxite, sorry, and we turn it into bauxite, which becomes a little bit orangey, and then it goes here in alumina plant. Alumina creates aluminum oxide. That's a silverish dust or white dust that is later on transferred in this factory into aluminium bars or rods. Anyway, we have a new thing here. We have a new conveyor belt that would be dry bulk conveyor belt. So dry bulk conveyor belt connections are like this. You have some of them on this side, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna unpause. I'm gonna rotate a couple of these bad boys around here, and voila, we're gonna see how they look. We can see enclosed conveyor belts. We can see enclosed the whole operation. Unlike these guys, where they just drop rocks of stuff and it goes in, we actually have these kind of white enclosed conveyor belts. We can wait for these last ones to be finished. I'm gonna just avoid the dark. We're gonna jump cut after this presentation. And the biggest plant here, one step back, this plant employs 370 workers. And this plant employs 350 workers. Now let me see what this does. This creates 75 tons of bauxite out of 125 tons of raw bauxite, so be careful how you make these guys. And then you have alumina plant. Alumina plant converts 75 tons of bauxite, which is, hey ho, perfect like this. It's 77 actually, but you will need a coal for this. You need coal, bauxite, and chemicals to create alumina oxide. Sorry, aluminium oxide. So this turns bauxite into aluminium oxide using coal and chemicals. And the last step would be this fine silver dust with the conveyor belts into the aluminium plant. Aluminium plant, again, it requires 2 things. Crap load of electricity, well, a lot of electricity, and chemicals again. So, we can create 33 tons of aluminium oxide out of 77 tons of bauxite. So let's say 6 mines or 5 mines working at 100% are going to be enough to fill this plant. Maybe even create a backlog. And then 1 plant is enough for one of these, and 1 plant of these is enough for one of these. So at least this kind of fits the whole picture. So we have here production of 33 tons of aluminium oxide, and here we have 52 tons of consumption of aluminium oxide to create 28 tons of aluminium per day. There you go, that was a mouthful. By the way, if you didn't know, once again I'm gonna repeat that it requires electricity connection same as our steel mill, so heads up on that. And let me just check, do they have a railroad connection? Unfortunately they don't. So you can connect your storage area next to this, and you will have to connect your storage area if you want to. Well, you don't have to, but it would be good if you want to store that additional aluminium. It has a fair 28-ton capacity. That's like 10-day production. That's not bad, especially if your distribution offices are doing fine. Right, okay, 15 minutes into this episode or so, I'm gonna do a jump cut just so to have a fresh new look on the new situation in the new day. Right, I said I'm gonna do this during the day. Nope, we're gonna do it during the night. So just around the corner from our aluminium presentation that I showed you, we're gonna have well, early morning thing. We're gonna see this at night one more time. Yes, I'm gonna do a presentation about the airplane industry and, well, let's go with the transport industry. So we have a standard production line. It can be found, this is the only building that doesn't have its own kind of section where metallurgy has our aluminium buildings. You have tourism with tourism industry, and assembly line is an airplane production area. So airplane production area is a big one. It's a big building and it requires crap lot of stuff. You need steel, you need aluminium, you need everything that you need for vehicle production. So you know the basics: plastics, except chemicals, plastics, mechanical, electrical components, electronics, and fabrics. This is what's needed for this. Okay, now next stuff. We have a plane that is parked here usually. We're gonna replace it real quickly. That would be one of our best planes in the game. It's actually... Yes, here we go. Tupolev. So, we have our airplane industry over here. It has to have a couple of connections or couple of places where you can park your planes. I put the biggest ones just because if we decide to go for the biggest plane. So how does it work? You build your plane industry, you saw it there in that section, and then you have to build a parking lot. So parking lots, you have a sections of the buildings where parking lots needs to be adjacent to. So in this case, parking lots are here. So for example, if I go for the smallest airplane parking, you can see here that I can connect it to this building. And this is how you have to do in the airplane industry. You have to connect all of this stuff. So if you build it here, for example, and we continue, press play, and we need to connect it to the rest of the infrastructure. So there you go, we have additional plane space, but the biggest planes cannot be constructed over here. They can be constructed only if the big places are clear, and I'm pretty sure that small planes can be in the biggest parking lots. But let's cover the parking lots. You have 30-meter parking lots, 40-meter, 50-meter, and 75-meter parking lots. And of course you have 3 plane of 50-meter parking lots. That would be, let's call it, big medium-sized planes. I have a lot of them here, and they can be covered. There's a lot of planes. There's 10 different planes. It's more than enough for us, and I'm pretty sure that mods and other planes are gonna come just really fast. But for now we have 10 different planes. I'm gonna show some of them how they look like. Actually, I probably can show you how all of them look like because I purchased them. I have no idea in which order. So let's go. I think we have this Antonov. We have the small Antonov over here. Let me just fill this one in. And what are we missing here? I would say that it would be Illusion here. And then this one would be next 3 that I bought. That would be this one, which we don't have. This one that we again don't have, and Tupolev 104. That's here. So we're gonna go for this one and this one. And the last 2, they're already set away. I'm gonna go for Yak and this one. We're gonna check all the airplanes how they look like. We're gonna see how they look like flying during the day and flying during the night. We're gonna see them, most of them, in the air. So this is legendary Tupolev 144 or Soviet Concorde. You can see how squarish the face of the plane looks like, and looks quite weird. Then we have these 2. These are too big. This is a pre-Bear Bomber, I believe. Is it? What's the Bear Bomber designation? I forgot. 140. 162 is the black swans, white swans. Anyway, this is the the plane that has let's call it, let's say that this is a Bear bomber. Bear is the NATO designation for this plane. It's a cargo plane and it's the strategic bomber, I think, but in this case we use it as a transport plane. You wouldn't be transporting something cheap on them. I bet that they chug a lot of fuel, so you're gonna have issues with that. Okay, so we have this plane over here. He has some issues. Run or taxiway engaged with another plane vehicle. Okay, he's just waiting for his turn. I'm pretty sure that there's a plane landing or something. Doesn't matter. We're gonna leave them alone. Right, planes. The two biggest ones we said, Tupolev 144 and Tupolev 142. You cannot get them on the smallest field. If you see here, we are missing two planes. And I'm gonna tell you which ones. There are two, 142 and 144. So you have them here, 144 and 142. These are the biggest planes, and you can see that they are practically the most expensive ones. But anyway, let's see what other planes we have. We have a crop duster here. I think every single country of the east of, I don't know, Frankfurt had these planes as a crop dusters. I wouldn't be surprised that most of them were used in military operations one way or the other somewhere in the world. Right, takeoff distance. By the way, yes, takeoff distance is the length of the runway your plane needs. If you build a small runway, your biggest planes won't be able to fly, so you're going to be spending all this money and everything to build your own infrastructure, and your planes won't be able to fly. The biggest ones needing the longest runway, I believe that they're the Tupolevs, the biggest planes we have. We can check it real quickly if we scroll over them. 690, 650, 870, 970, 870, 740, 960, 680, 680 and 250 meter long runway. So more or less, if you build 7, 8, 900, if you build runway 970 meters long, just under a kilometer, you're gonna be fine with all of them. If you're building a small airport, bear in mind the length of the runway that they need. Anyway, we have a small cargo station. Oh, right, let's check the rest of the planes. So we have Antonov 12. This is a mean looking plane. I like it. It's a cargo plane. Then we have a passenger Ilyushin 18. Then we have Ilyushin 76. This is the most commonly used. If you see any Russian transport planes flying anywhere, this is the one. Military, you're gonna see this one. It's kind of iconic. And then we have Ilyushin 38 over here, and we have Tupolev 104 or Tupolev. It's fascinating because it has it has engines next to its body of a plane. Okay, oh, right, and we have, of course, here Yak 42, and this one is Tupolev 154. Tupolev 154 is a passenger plane. It does require a little bit bigger space for well, actually, I think it can manage these ones. Yeah, it can manage 50-meter ones. So your cargo, this is only for this is only for Tupolev and the biggest cargo planes you have. Even though, heads up, these biggest cargo planes, they do not necessarily transport more stuff. Technically, they're not that needed, so maybe we're better off with building these smaller ones. And of course, adding additional runways, that's a smart move as well, so try doing that. Okay, this has gone for long enough, and let's observe them. Oh, by the way, yes, more stuff. We have a control tower. By the way, if control tower is not manned, you will have issues with your people. We're just gonna give them a little bit more people. We're gonna have issues with the planes. Control tower needs to be manned. You can see here in the control tower, this runway is 1,379 meters long. Let's see if we can implement another runway over here, and if it's gonna be registered. So let's go for a runway over here. Of course, this runway, how much is this? 700 meters. Okay, we can do something like this. We can do another runway over here, and let's go for 972 meters. That should be covering everything we have. And then we build another taxiway. Let's go from here, and then from here, and then from here as well, so they can bypass the main runway. And let's see if it's going to be registered on the same tower. plane here that was landing Illusion 76. Hopefully they're gonna go on the taxiway. And by the way, yeah, be generous with the taxiways because they're gonna clear your runways. So for example, if a plane needs to go to be parked over here or for whatever means necessary, they like whatever we mean by that, just build side runway so they're clear this runway. Let's see them take off. Let's go. And you probably all seen the video that the guys, the developers posted already. It's quite nice. I love the video, but there was no commentary on it. Hopefully this is going to be a little bit better. Look, guys, I'm not gonna be covering this perfectly well. I'll make mistakes in the future, so please just point them out in the comment section. I'm actually enjoying those, you know, proving myself wrong and learning as I go. So guys, just leave the nasty comments in the comment sections. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, that's about it. Let's see how this bad boy looks at night, and let's finish this video. Right, the last thing I forgot to mention, the second runway that we set up here, yeah, it's registered here. We have 1 runway and 2 runways, so this is definitely going to increase the capacity of our... Whoa, look at this bad boy flying. This is definitely going to increase capacity of our... Wow, okay, that was weird. Okay, he disappeared and then landed here for... That's interesting. I'm gonna get all these planes in the air so we have a little bit more traffic to see how it looks then and at night. See you in a sec. Okay, here we go. The night is not gonna last forever, so let's see how our planes are doing. Let's see if we're gonna see any landings, any takeoffs, and yeah, I'm gonna speed this up just so we can get planes on the runway. Oh, we have a bad boy over here. This one is hopefully gonna... well, it's gonna take off. Right, let's see this. I'm gonna just zoom on the vehicle and I'm gonna press play, and of course the day is coming, so it's not gonna be as majestic as usual. Okay, that's it. You saw enough. One thing I'm gonna show you, I just noticed. We got tourists. They arrived at the airport, but they don't have anywhere to go. I'm gonna pause this just to show you another detail that I just noticed. Like I said, this is a first look. This only came out today. I'm recording it straight away. Just wanted to present it to you as best I can, and for you guys who can't still see it, you can see it on here. And right, there we go. They're coming. Tourists. You can see what's their budget. This is how much they're gonna spend. This is what their budget is, what they're looking to get for how much money, I bet. And right, there's rubles, there's dollars, there's tourists from all over the place coming. Well, there's 27 of them, but you can see every individual one. There are richer ones as well. The ones with the rubles, look, that they're like 28, and these are like 48. Anyway, I'm gonna do a deep dive into this in the tutorial, and also I'm gonna do it in our Let's Play, so you can follow it there. That's it. 3 parts: planes, aluminium, and tourism. Which is your favorite? I don't know. I think all of them are my favorite. I like industries. I would say aluminium, but now with this tourism thing, I always like the, you know, tropical thing with tourists, and I'm really looking forward to see how this is gonna play out. Anyway, that's it. First look. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, notification bell to ring it, leave a comment in the comment section, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.